All right, so good evening, everyone. I want to welcome everyone to the Roosevelt School Students of Distinction. My name is Ray Sanchez, Superintendent of School, and it's really an honor to be here to recognize some of our outstanding students from Roosevelt School. Before we get started, I can actually get a sense of who the students are, but I think it's really, really important for everyone to get to know who our students of distinction are. So I'm going to ask our students of distinction to please stand for a moment, nice and tall. And let's give them a round of applause. All right, so we have a lively audience. That's great. Boys and girls, sit down. So to all our boys and girls in advance, I want to congratulate you because obviously you've been selected, and there are many outstanding students at Roosevelt School, but your teachers have seen something in you, and I'm sure it has a lot to do with your perseverance, your hard work in the classroom. Sure, it has a lot to do with your citizenship, your cooperation, how hard you work, and your passion for learning overall. And in a little bit, when I invite Mr. Hancock to come up, you'll hear specifically some of the stories behind why you were chosen, because our teachers have taken the time to write some nice words about each of our students. I do want to take a moment to recognize and thank a number of individuals. First, I just want to thank the parents, the families, and our friends that are here that support our students. It's clear that the support that they receive at home is critical. And when we work in partnership, we know that all our students will succeed. So we want to thank you for all your hard work and dedication. I also want to thank our outstanding teachers that are here, along with our teaching assistants. I see also that really help to make everything that's special in the classrooms happen, and really work hard to meet the needs of each and every individual child in our school. So please join me in giving them a round of applause. Such a great audience. You guys are just clappers, right? Aside from our teachers, we also have an outstanding leader in our principal, Mr. Stephen Hancock, that helps to support not only our teachers, but our families and our students. Please join me in thanking Mr. Hancock. And there are a few others I do want to thank. I want to thank our Board of Education, who basically every other week is here thinking about different ways in which we can continue to support our educational programs here in our school district. So not only thinking about our students, but also thinking about our entire community. And with us today, we have Board President, Ms. Lisa Murray. And we also have Board Trustee, Mr. Bill Kress. And while they're not here, I do want to recognize our Board Vice President, Mr. Steve Wardwell, Mr. Felix Flores, Mr. Greg Galiff, and Mr. Frank Schnecker. Please join me in thanking them as well. And finally, I have the opportunity to work with some very talented individuals at Central Office that help to support our entire system. And so with us, we have our Assistant Superintendent for Business, Ms. Alita Zuber. And our Director for Secondary Teaching and Learning, Mr. Brian Alm. And I know she'll be here, and it's worthy of a round of applause for Ms. Carrie Ann Sipos, who's our Director for Elementary Teaching and Learning. So boys and girls, this is a very special night because you get an opportunity to be recognized for all your hard work and dedication and your citizenship. Just to give you a sense of what you can expect, number one, Mr. Hancock's going to be coming up here soon. He's going to be calling students one by one and then reading some passages that each of the teachers have prepared. And what our students can anticipate is the following. Number one, you're going to get a medal from either myself or Ms. Murray. We haven't decided who's giving what just yet. The other piece that you'll be getting, or the other artifact, is a certificate that's been signed by myself and Ms. Murray that notes that you are a student of distinction. One item that's not here, but I think is extremely special, is that we're going to be placing a book in the Roosevelt Library with your name on it. that says that you were and are a student of distinction. So not only will students that are currently at Roosevelt School know that you're a student of distinction, but future students that enter our schools will know that you're a student of distinction when they pick up the book. And I think that's a very special gift. And finally, we're going to be memorializing this. Mr. Quiroga is here, excuse me, and he'll be taking photos throughout the night, and also we have Mr. McDonald filming it, so you will be on television, so big smiles at all times, because you never know when the camera's on you. Boys and girls, I've been reminded too, when you're called though, that you're going to go around this way. There's a few wires over here we don't want you to trip on, so even if you're sitting over there, if you wouldn't mind just coming around. So I'm excited to hear everything that Mr. Hancock has to read from our teachers. So with that, please join me in welcoming Mr. Hancock.
Good evening, everyone. It is with great pride and pleasure that I stand before you as Roosevelt School's principal to recognize some of our outstanding students. The students here tonight exemplify what it means to not only be an excellent learner, but they are leaders among their peers. They are the poster children for our 3 Ps, being prompt, polite, prepared, and safe. Furthermore, they are role models in our school community by consistently doing what is right, working hard for their academic achievements, challenging themselves to further their learning, and always looking to not only help themselves, but those around them. Behind each student is a strong support network that has helped them get to where they are today. That support network is represented in this room tonight. Each of you has played an important role in the life of the children before us. Students, I think your families, friends, and teachers deserve a round of applause for being by your side every step of the way. And now for the awards. Our first student of distinction is Gabriel Aguilera. His teacher, Miss Gurgis, writes, Gabe is one of the funniest, active, and witty people I know. Gabe comes in every morning and puts on a smile on every face he walks by, saying good morning and giving a quick, it's a little too early wave. He has really grown as a learner since the beginning of the year in terms of his newfound joy in writing about his experiences. Gabe puts a great deal of effort into his studies and always tries to do his very best. He has grown in reading, and this stems from the dedication to learning. In addition, Gabe enjoys learning new things from his teachers and others. He also enjoys working in small guided reading groups with his friends, taking his own math fluency data, and a friendly round of math bingo. Gabe is a model student who exemplifies why Roosevelt rules. He exemplifies the 3 Ps as being prompt, polite, prepared, and safe each and every day. Hard work and a great sense of humor has really made Gabe a model for other students. I am so proud that Gabe has earned this honor and that it is being presented by one of his favorite people, Mr. Hancock, believe it or not. Gabe says, my favorite thing in school is reading. My math dad is fun because I do it all for myself. I also love Roosevelt School. Please join me in congratulating Gabriel Aguilera. Our next student of distinction is David Berzueta. His teachers, Ms. Charpentier and Ms. Venegas-Smith, write, we are excited to nominate David as our student of distinction. David is a well-mannered, kind, and hard-working student who is always prepared to do his best work in both Spanish and English. He is always ready to lend a helping hand to his teachers and classmates alike. David loves to get lost in his books, and he makes connections to the characters and their stories. His writing takes you on a journey showing you the world through his eyes. David is a role model to his peers, is always on task and ready to work in a group, partnership, or individual setting. David continues to excel in his literacy and math through his hard work and determination. He participates daily as he contributes his ideas to lessons and enjoys being a part of the classroom community. He is an active participant in class discussions and enjoys sharing his viewpoint with others while being respectful of his peers' opinions. David exhibits real leadership qualities and makes the classroom a more productive place for everyone. We have no doubt that David will be successful in anything that he puts his mind to. We are so proud of David's accomplishments in the dual language program, and we are honored to have him in our class. David says, I want to thank my parents for encouraging me to work really hard in school so I can experience the honor of being a student of distinction. I also want to thank my teachers for choosing me as a student of distinction and being so nice to me. Please join me in congratulating David Wetty. Our next student of distinction is Ryan Macancela Chimbo. His teacher, Miss O'Brien, writes, Ryan is a student of distinction for many reasons. Throughout the year, Ryan has continued to demonstrate that hard work and determination allow him to reach his goals. As a result of hard work, Ryan has become accountable for his learning and attentive in class. He is a leader to others, offers support to his classmates, and is polite to adults and peers in and out of the classroom. He is a well-rounded student and a genuinely caring individual. Ryan is seen as a leader to others and offers support to his classmates. Ryan continues to excel in all subjects. Specifically during reading, he has led discussion and actively participates. During mathematics, Ryan continuously seeks support while working with peers and adults. When faced with challenges, Ryan continues to use his positive attitude and problem-solving skills to overcome any issue with ease. He completes all work with focus and careful examination to distinguish himself through this work. He has proven that hard work and determination allows him to continue to reach his goals. He is dedicated to being the best student he can be and continues to strive for academic success. I am honored to recommend Ryan as our student of distinction. Ryan says, I am here because of my sister and my mom. My sister is the one who inspires, and she told me a lot about what I would be learning since she is now in 7th grade. My mom is the one who taught me to never give up and try hard. I am trying hard. That is why I am here. I am so happy that my mom and dad are proud of me. I want to say thank you to them, and I will keep trying hard. Please join me in congratulating Ryan Macancela Chimbo. Our next student of distinction is Josh Dulcet. His teachers, Ms. Charpentier and Ms. Venegas Smith, write, we are excited to nominate Josh as our student of distinction. Josh is an absolute pleasure to have in the dual language program. He is a diligent worker who completes tasks in both English and Spanish with pride and attention to detail. When Josh walks into the classroom in the morning, he immediately follows the 3 Ps. He is polite. He says good morning to his teachers and classmates. He is prompt. He is always on time and starts the morning routine immediately. He is prepared. He brings the homework back to school and comes in with a willingness to learn. Josh is an excellent example of why Roosevelt rules. He is a role model for others to follow. Josh has worked hard this year to be an excellent math student. He participates in class and shares his math strategies with peers. Josh works well in small groups. His classmates love to partner with him. Recently, while working on a math word problem, Josh would not give up. He was determined to solve the problem. Once he did, he was proud of himself and eager to teach others. You could overhear him tell his partner, "This isn't so bad, we can do it." His enthusiasm for learning is contagious, and his perseverance is inspiring to those around him. We are honored to be Josh's teachers, and we congratulate him on being a student of distinction. Josh would like me to share with you his favorite quote by Dr. Seuss. Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Please join me in congratulating Josh Dulcet. Our next student of distinction is Abigail Galecki. Her teachers, Mr. Beck and Ms. De Los Santos, write, Abigail is a bright student that is consistently challenging herself to push beyond the classroom expectations. She is kind and considerate with others. Abigail has an amazing personality, a positive sense of humor, and an innate ability to write really well. Every morning when Abby walks into the classroom, her bright smile and positive attitude electrifies the room. Her energy shows passion and commitment to the work she is doing each day. In math, she loves to discuss her thinking, questions others, and engage in discussion that is purposeful and meaningful. These skills, in turn, lead to incredible perseverance and problem solving. In writing, she has an exceptional understanding of grammar and the ability to communicate her ideas deeply to her reader. In reading, Abby thoroughly enjoys reading a wide variety of books, but most importantly, she loves to talk about them. If you ask Abby's mother, she will agree. Abby loves to talk. She loves to discuss with students and listen to their ideas. When she is in a book club, watch out. She is extremely comfortable in being able to communicate her thoughts and build on the ideas of others. Abby discusses deep, insightful themes and once described life as being a book that is okay to leave open for others to figure out. And she has compared trust to a china plate. These are only a few examples, but as you can see, her deep thinking, compassion for others, and overall positivity are only a few of the many reasons that Abby represents our dual language family today as a student of distinction. Abby says, I have always liked the quote, shoot for the stars, even if you miss, you'll land among them. I want to thank my teachers for the opportunity. I also want to thank my family for their support through good and bad times. Please join me in congratulating Abigail Galecki. Our next student of distinction is Zoey Jowers. Her teachers, Ms. De Los Santos and Mr. Beck, write, among all my shining stars, Zoey is definitely a bright star. We are more than honored to award Zoey as a student of distinction in our dual language class. Zoey is a pleasure to have in our class. She does everything with excellence and goes above and beyond the classroom and school expectations without being asked. She is a great example of our 3 Ps, prompt, polite, prepared, and safe. Zoey is a very hard worker, generous, respectful, and humble. She's very inquisitive, always curious about everything that implicates learning. Zoey serves as a positive role model to her peers. Her caring nature and personality allow her to work well with others in a team, as she always respects others' opinions when they differ from her own. She comes to school excited and gives her best at all times. She typically begins and ends every day with a wide smile on her face. Zoey listens well and eagerly shares her thoughts in class discussions. She is always willing to take the risk of asking questions to check her understanding. Zoey is exceeding in all academic areas as a result of her inquisitiveness, dedication, and commitment. She always strives to increase her knowledge in all subject areas by reading and asking questions. Zoey is a very diligent student who always ensures to complete her task in a timely manner. She is conscientious about her studies and always strives for excellence. For all these reasons, academic effort, enthusiasm about learning, and positive engagement in her school community, Zoey well deserves to be our student of distinction. Zoey says, And education is the only thing a mind never regrets or repels, because education is the key to our freedom. Please join me in congratulating Zoey Szabo. Our next student of distinction is Amaya Kelly. Her teacher, Ms. Hudson, writes, "Self-motivated, conscientious, polite, and hardworking are the first words that come to mind when describing Amaya Kelly. In our classroom, you will often see Amaya pushing herself academically in all areas, as she listens carefully to all lessons, asks for clarification to improve in her own understanding, and welcomes feedback as a way to improve. She is patient, mature, responsible, and serves as a positive role model to her peers, both behaviorally and academically, each day. Amaya is always willing to lend a helping hand, which is shown most when she quietly explains a concept or direction to a classmate or offers to help pass out papers. Early in the year, Amaya not only set herself apart as a strong, responsible student, but also as a leader and a writer. She demonstrated her skills in these areas as she argued why she should be our class student council representative. She stated, "As class representative, I will make sure that each and every one of you gets a chance to voice your opinion. I think it is very important for everyone to have a fair chance in sharing their thoughts and ideas. I will be that voice for you." Amaya has kept that promise as she has helped to represent all of her classmates and treat each one with fairness and respect. As student council representative, she continues to lead her fellow peers as she makes decisions that affect not only herself, but her own classmates and the entire school. She does act as their voice, and I am sure that her classmates would happily vote for her again if given the chance. Having Amaya in our class this year has truly been a pleasure, and I look forward to watching Amaya grow even more in the months to come. I anticipate hearing great things about her in the years ahead. Congratulations, Amaya. You are truly a student of distinction. You should be proud. Amaya says, "I want to thank my teacher, Ms. Hudson, my principal, Mr. Hancock, and my mom for teaching me that hard work pays off. Remember, education is the most powerful weapon that can change the world." Please join me in congratulating Amaya Kelly. Our next student of distinction is Tanya Marina. Her teacher, Ms. Forehand, writes, "When I think of the students I have taught over the years, so many of them have left such a positive impression on me. I know that Tanya will be one of those students, someone that I will remember for years to come. Tanya has a kind heart and spirit. She is always respectful and helpful to her peers. She is often the one to glance over at her table mates, who may be desperately looking for math homework page that they need, and she helps them in the search. Or she explains her process in figuring out a word problem to a partner. Tanya is very easy to talk to and get along with. Sometimes after school, while waiting for the bus, she and another student are quietly and thoughtfully engaged in a conversation. Tanya always follows our classroom and school rules and helps remind others that what the rules are too. Tanya is a hard worker who puts forth a good effort and has grown academically this school year. She completes all of her homework and enjoys reading. Tanya enjoys writing, especially poetry. Recently, during our reading week, we learned about personification in poetry, and everyone wrote a poem with examples of personification. I must say that Tanya is quite the poet. She wrote a lovely poem about leaves. Tanya has also focused on being an excellent math student this year. She studies at home even if she doesn't have a quiz or a test that is approaching. Tanya prepares herself for the inevitable. She says an education is important to her because it will help her to have a better life. It is a pleasure being Tanya's teacher this school year. I couldn't have recommended a more deserving person for this honor. Congratulations, Tanya, on being a student of distinction. You have truly earned it. Tanya says, "I would like to thank God and my family for supporting me. I also like to thank my teacher, Ms. Forehand, for choosing me as a student of distinction. I am very happy and honored by this opportunity. I hope to continue to work hard and strive for excellence. Please join me in congratulating Tanya Marina. Our next student of distinction is Alexander Marquez. His teacher, Ms. Nethersole, writes, I am thrilled to nominate Alexander as a student of distinction. Each day he exemplifies what it means to follow Roosevelt's 3 Ps. He promptly completes classroom tasks and he does his homework without fail. Alexander's a hard worker who always puts forth his best effort into doing his work. He is one of the most polite students I have ever known. Alexander takes great pride in his work and enjoys achieving good grades. He focuses intently on independent work and also enjoys working with his peers. Alexander is helpful and kind. His classmates enjoy working with him. Other students can always count on him to contribute to collaborative group activities. Math is one of Alexander's favorite school subjects. In fact, when asked what he likes to do at home after a busy day at school, Alexander stated that he enjoys watching a little television and doing math, especially homework. When a tough math problem is faced in front of him, Alexander tackles it with quiet determination until he completes the task. He asks questions when concepts are not immediately clear, and he applies what he has learned to the tasks in front of him. Alexander is a good reader who becomes deeply engaged in the books he is reading. He comes from a hard-working, soccer-loving family. He attributes much of his school success to them and has stated that they are heroes who are devoted to making big sacrifices to give him what he needs to succeed. Success is definitely in Alexander's future. I feel blessed to have been able to be Alexander's 5th grade teacher. I congratulate him on being recognized as a student of distinction and look forward to hearing about all of his accomplishments that his future holds. Alexander says, I want to thank not only my family but also my teacher. My family has always been my support system in everything I do. They always encourage me to never give up and reach my goals. Ms. Nethersole has given me the chance to learn and keep working hard as a student. I feel so grateful to have so many people who want the best for me. I am proud to have been selected as a student of distinction, and this encourages me to keep working hard in the future. Please join me in congratulating Alexander Marquez. Our next student of distinction is Ava Morse. Her teacher, Ms. Vaccaro, writes, it is with great joy that I congratulate Ava in being a student of distinction. Ava is a pleasure to have in class and enters the room every day with a smile, prepared to learn and do her best. Ava is respectful and kind to adults and to her peers and is a good friend to others. She is always ready to lend a helping hand to someone in need and is always following the 3 Ps. Ava takes time to help other students and is always willing to participate in class. Ava accepts new tasks in math and ELA with an open mind and perseveres in becoming successful. She enjoys showing her thinking in mathematical problem solving and loves to revise and edit her writing. Ava puts forth great effort in all areas and has taken ownership over her learning. She is setting goals for herself and always attempts to make her work the best it can be. Ava takes teacher recommendations and adjusts her work and learning accordingly. Ava is a positive role model for her peers in terms of her behavior, ability to make good choices, work ethic, and the pride and effort she puts into her work. Her presence establishes an atmosphere of kindness and cooperation within the classroom. Ava is a wonderful student who always puts forth her best effort. I am honored to be Ava's teacher and know she truly deserves this special recognition. Ava says, never give up, because you can do anything that you put your mind to. Please join me in congratulating Ava Morse. Our next student of distinction is Maya Offen. Her teacher, Ms. Borges, writes, I am so thrilled to have been able to recognize Maya as my student of distinction. Although Maya joined our class only a few months ago, she immediately was able to integrate herself into the culture of the class and Roosevelt School. Maya is a talented musician who impressed us her first week of school with a fabulous solo during the jazz band performance. She is an avid reader, and you can often find Maya deep inside her current independent reading book during any available time. On only her second day of school here, she aced a math test with an almost perfect score. Her writing uses many of the techniques she is being taught effectively and with great voice and humor. Maya is also a wonderful example of the 3 Ps at Roosevelt School. She is polite with all teachers and classmates. She completes her homework and classwork proudly with a higher degree of effort and is always prompt in handing in work and preparing herself during transitions. She works well with everyone in the class and will always make room for anyone during a small group activity. In her recently published memoir, Maya wrote, I can learn from not only my mistakes, but the mistakes of others too. In my opinion, this shows a high degree of self-awareness and maturity, which is the sum of why I am happy to have Maya as my student of distinction. Maya says, I am glad to be honored in this way because it shows that kids can do big things. Please join me in congratulating Maya Offen. Our next student of distinction is Jocelyn Orellana. Her teachers, Ms. Cowan and Ms. Order, write, Jocelyn is a responsible, hardworking, helpful, and respectful student. She has a strong desire to learn and is an active participant in class lessons. Jocelyn is not afraid to ask questions and take risks. Her eagerness to be a more successful student has resulted in achieving success in all academic areas. Jocelyn has shown perseverance with our challenging math curriculum. She is becoming an efficient problem solver and is grasping most of the new concepts. Jocelyn is a prime example of our class motto, practice makes progress. She is utilizing the skills and strategies she is learning to improve as a reader. Jocelyn enjoys sharing her thoughts about what she has read and tries to support her thinking with evidence and details from the text. Jocelyn is a kind and thoughtful classmate. For example, if she recognizes that another student is by themselves, she will invite them to join her group. Jocelyn is funny, sweet, and can make her friends laugh. This kindness and thoughtfulness also extends to her teachers. If one of her teachers has been out, she will give them a hug when they return and make sure they are feeling okay. It is a pleasure having Jocelyn in our class and are so proud of all her success this year. Jocelyn says, I am proud of myself because I've become a better reader and improved in math. My parents are proud of me because I have proved to them that I'm a hard worker and a good student. I want to thank Ms. Cowan and Ms. Orta because they have been teaching me many new things and they decided I should be a student of distinction. Please join me in congratulating Jocelyn Orellana. Our next student of distinction is Jacqueline Guinde Pawnee. Her teacher, Ms. Morris, writes, when Jacqueline entered 5th grade, she was a very shy and quiet student. Seemingly unsure, she would timidly raise her hand to answer questions and sit back and work quietly in group situations. As the year has progressed, it has been incredible to watch her grow into a successful, confident, and dedicated learner. She consistently demonstrates perseverance and consistently pushes her learning to the next level. You wouldn't recognize that shy, timid girl from September anymore. Today, she eagerly participates in class discussions, shares her thoughts, builds on the ideas of others, solves challenging math problems, and contributes to the class learning by sharing her strategies. She loves reading, discussing books, and has excelled in all academic areas. On top of her dedication to her studies, she's also funny, thoughtful, kind, and caring. Jacqueline is always looking for the good in others. She stands up for what's right and looks out for her friends. Whenever called upon, Jackie doesn't hesitate to help classmates or a teacher. She is responsible and respectful. Jackie sets high expectations for herself and works hard to achieve them. She is an integral part of our classroom team. When she found out that she was chosen as a student of distinction, the first thing she did was thank Miss Morse. She was quickly reminded that she was not simply selected for this award. She has wholeheartedly earned this honor of being a Roosevelt student of distinction. Congratulations, Jackie, on all of your hard work so far, and keep reaching for the stars. Jackie says, being the student of distinction inspires me to love school more and become a better student. Please join me in congratulating Jacqueline Kunde Tanya. Our next student of distinction is Jacqueline Saiteros. Her teacher, Ms. Deerking, writes, I am excited to nominate Jackie as a student of distinction. Throughout this school year, Jackie has flourished both academically and socially. Additionally, Jackie always follows the 3 Ps. Jackie is a responsible, respectful, and kind young lady who always completes class and homework assignments. She is an exemplar student in all that she does. Jackie is meticulous in her work and knows how important it is to complete all of her tasks. Furthermore, she is willing to help others complete their assignments as well. During reading, Jackie and I have had deep conversations about the many novels she has read because of our shared interests in fantasy and fiction. In math, she is willing to work with her peers to help them succeed. On the contrary, when she needs help, she knows how important it is to stop and ensure she understands the original unclear problem. Jackie takes great pride in her work and persists even when she is uncertain. In September, Jackie was a very timid student. This winter, however, she was able to openly welcome a new student to our class. Now this spring, she is able to work with a wide variety of her classmates in multiple subject areas. I am so pleased to see how comfortable Jackie is in becoming of herself and her capacity to work with others. I am honored to recommend Jackie as a student of distinction. Jackie says, never give up on something you can't do. Please join me in congratulating Jacqueline Saiteros. Our next student of distinction is Gianna Szabo. Her teacher, Ms. Rinaldi, writes, Gianna is very deserving to be recognized as a student of distinction this year. Each day you will find Gianna exhibiting her strong work ethic, whether it's during reading, writing, math, or another content area. She is always on task and challenging herself to get the most that she can get out of every lesson. Throughout her year in 5th grade, Gianna has grown to not only be a positive influence among her peers, but also a strong role model and leader in the classroom. In the beginning of the year, Gianna modeled positive work ethic through examples. Students around her observed her organization, drive to stay on task, and how she challenges herself. By the middle of the year, Gianna had become a strong leader. Along with showing by example, you can now count on Gianna to explain her thought process to the class or to a small group of students. She can be seen moving from her desk to support a student in need, or even create her own lesson and teach it to the whole class on her own. Just this past month, Gianna had asked if she could develop and present a lesson on PEMDAS with a partner. After careful planning, Gianna stood in front of her classmates and taught this strategy with confidence. Gianna has truly blossomed in 5th grade, and it has been a joy to watch her grow. Keep up the great work, Gianna. Gianna says, I would like to thank my teacher, Miss Rinaldi, for choosing me for this honor, as well as my previous teachers who have helped me become the student I am. I would also like to thank my parents. Please join me in congratulating Gianna, Szabo. Our next student of distinction is Elijah Tobi. His teacher, Miss Hayden, writes, "Intelligent and talented are two words that can best describe Elijah. Elijah exhibits a rare ability to be deeply insightful regarding his wonderings and noticings while reading. His hand is always raised and ready to share. When a need for the overall theme of a challenging novel is discussed in class, Elijah is the first to be able to eloquently hit the nail on the head with the theme of the novel using specific examples from the text that was read. He is thorough in his work and always takes advice in the areas of growth with his work to heart, and his grades in ELA are proof of his perseverance. Elijah has worked extremely hard to overcome obstacles regarding certain math skills. He and I have argued that he is a great math student, and he's just starting to agree and flourish with confidence when overcoming a hurdle. Elijah's intelligence is also fostered in his love for art. Elijah is a talented artist who sets a good example for other students, showing them that there is a way to express themselves using the creativity they have inside of them. He is admired by his peers in and out of the classroom for his expressive nature through different forms of art. Lastly, Elijah has been admired not just by students, but by his past teachers. He has a strong bond with his beloved teacher, Mr. Horan. Elijah proudly announced at the beginning of the year that Mr. Horan dubbed him as the professor. Mr. Horan also hit the nail on the head with the nickname he created for him. The above examples are just a small portion of the evidence of how he has earned the nickname and why I am proud to call Elijah our student of distinction. Elijah says, "I am a kid who has high expectations for myself. For me, it's not succeeding that's the thrill, but what it took to get there. Now I am going to get to enjoy this moment, the moment of being a student of distinction." Please join me in congratulating Elijah Tobi. Our last student of distinction is Tom Villasne. Sorry. His teachers, Miss Gagliardi and Miss Karam, write, "We have nothing but wonderful things to say about Tom, or he is better known in our classroom as Mr. Tom. We are so proud of him and all of the progress he has made in our room. Tom is a student who consistently demonstrates hard work, focus, and dedication. Even when others around him may be a little distracted, Tom is hard at work following the directions and asking questions. Staying focused is most certainly one of Tom's superpowers. He pushes his thinking and also embraces a challenge. When he completes a class assignment, he is always eager to challenge himself with an extra task. In addition, Tom is a role model to his peers. He is friends with everyone, shows politeness and respect to all adults and children in our class, and helps out his classmates when he sees that they are in need of support. One of Tom's greatest characteristics is that he finds the good in everyone. He has a positive outlook on life and continues to have great relationships with his peers, and he has always finds ways to support a friend in a respectful way that acknowledges their strengths. Tom brings happiness and kindness into the classroom, Roosevelt School, and our world each day. It is with great joy that we celebrate Mr. Tom as a student of distinction. We love you." Tom says, "I would like to thank my teachers because they have taught me many things. They are the greatest teachers that I have ever known. I want to thank my principal, Mr. Hancock, because he tries to make everyone at Roosevelt School happy. Lastly, I would like to thank my parents because they raised me well, and that's why I am nice to them and my teachers." Please join me in congratulating Tom Villasne. And these are students of distinction.